That's great stuff. Like with music, it's great. It's really helpful because, yeah, it's like building up pressure. If you don't go with the flow, it's building up pressure, and it's like, oh, I might as well just forget about everything. Just let it go. Why not? All right, so here we are in the Miracle Recap. I'm happy that you're here. Miracle Recap today. We're going to start with a meditation. Since I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, we have like 2 hours. 1 hour is Miracle Recap, 1 hour is Healing Circle. Yeah, let's start with a meditation. So today's lesson is very suited for that. And especially the last three paragraphs are like contemplation, beautiful contemplation, meditation. So I want to use that to directly step into experience more than concepts or ideas or considerations. So this is like, this is A Course in Miracles. It's an experience. It's A Course in Miracles. Now listen what it says and what it will give you. Now relax and let this happen. Like, open your consciousness. Leave everything for what it is for a moment. Turn off your mind a little bit. It's like, open it up, but don't do anything with it for the rest. And see what is possible. It's like unbelievable. It's so beautiful what is given today in the daily lesson. And there's one life, and that I share with God. It's like, well, any questions? Like, that's truth. It's truth. There's one life, and that I share with God. I'm not separate from it. No one is separate from it, because there's only one life. There's only one God, one life, and it's you. It's this beautiful tree. Yeah, don't forget to breathe and sit back. Let us today be children of the truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagined it. Who changes life because he shuts his eyes, or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps, and sees in dreams an opposite to what he is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide even an instant where the thought of life eternal has been set by God Himself. His holy home we strive to keep today as He established it, and wills it be forever and forever. He is the Lord of what we think today, and in His thoughts, which have no opposite, we understand there is one life, and that we share with Him, with all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom He created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death and leave the source of life from where it came. We share one life because we have one source, a source from which perfection comes to us, remaining always in the holy mind which He created perfect. As we were, so are we now, and will forever be. A sleeping mind must awaken, as it sees its own perfection mirroring the Lord of life so perfectly, it fades into what is reflected there. And now it is no more a mere reflection. It becomes the thing reflected, and the light which makes reflection possible. No vision now is needed, for the awakened mind is one that knows its source, itself, its holiness. All right, thank you so much for being quiet. It's like it helps to disengage your mind as an active tool to be distracted. So this is like you turn it off for a moment. You empty it. You empty your mind for a moment, and that's necessary. Otherwise you will be, say, staying in a superficial layer where distraction is like right at the surface, picking anything, what seems to be so important in the superficial world, you could say, or a superficial idea of yourself, that seems to be so important. And once you engage with it, it becomes your world, and it is very important. So that's the interesting idea with mind. So mind is so, you could say, mind is so powerful that if you literally assume one thing as real, you see that whole level of consciousness as real, and you find yourself in the middle of it. And the same now with the disengaging your mind and just letting it be open is also opening up for something that is real about you. And when you discover that, then that becomes your reality, and you suddenly literally find yourself in heaven, because that is real, that is the real world. And so your distractions with superficialities, even though they seem so important, and at times you completely are preoccupied with it, or so turned by it, like so moved by it is what I mean. It's like so moved by it because something appears to be happening outside of you that has a direct effect on you or your relationships. And that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So now the disengagement of it, the letting go of it, the relaxing your mind, you opening your consciousness for a different experience will feel immediately as a relief, because you're not preoccupied with superficialities, with things that change so quickly that you don't even know what's actually occurring. It seems to be a total chaos, and here we are in opening our minds to something that is always with you, that brings you right to your center, that recognizes that you have one source, and that's all, like the total simplicity of perfection. So that's really something else. Now in the lessons that we're looking at, 161 or 162 to 167, I think it is today. Yep. So we come to a whole different practice with the lessons. You can see that it's not as much direct mind training anymore. No, it's like letting yourself be made ready for this experience, the experience of an open mind, not concerned with worldly ideas for a moment, in order to come to a different experience. Like we've been doing that since lesson 92, basically. Miracles are seen in light. So you start to open something up within you. Like you have been looking at the idea of forgiveness, of letting go of what you think is going on, ordering your thoughts, on a timeline, releasing that a whole idea, not projecting a past into a future any longer, but practicing literally to be present and having that as a deep experience of yourself, or coming to the place where that becomes really still and really deeply nurturing instead of distracting and exhausting. So this nutrition is really what we're looking for, in the sense of that brings us back into an awareness of a state that is so familiar and where you feel so at home that's the only thing you want. Now this we practice with today's lesson like we did in the meditation, and that's really lovely. So I from every lesson in this row of the last week, I took one paragraph that stood out to me, and I'd love to share with you and stand still with it, to just, in fact, place it in this broad scheme, you could say, broad expansion of your inner experience, because that's really what it is. Not to be understood, not to be, really to be remembered, to come to the stillness within you where that actually is exactly what's going on in you, that you recognize just because you're quiet and just because you are receptive. And this. So this is our practice with the lessons at this point. And so we start with 162, which is a lesson that is repeated 3 times in the Course in Miracles. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. This single thought, held firmly in the mind, would save the world. From time to time we will repeat it as we reach another stage in learning. Apparently that's the thing exactly that's going on. You can feel that even in how we do this. That's so interesting. It will mean far more to you as you advance. These words are sacred, for they are the words God gave in answer to the world you made. By them it disappears, and all things seen within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish, as these words are spoken, for they come from God. And it's like, look at that, I am as God created me. Like that single thought held firmly in the mind would save the world. Would save the world from illusions that you have made up. Like, I am as God created me. Now that is one that you want to stay very close to. Because it's like the portal, as it says here too. It's like these words are sacred, for they are the words that God gave in answer to the world you made. By these words, by I am as God created me, the world disappears, and all things within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish. It's like there's a huge relinquishment going on if you practice this well, and allow a change to happen in your experience. Like, this has nothing to do with your frame of reference any longer. Like, see, and that is not imaginable. You cannot imagine that, how that would feel, how that is, and this is really like the end. This is as far as you come with your human mind. Like, you love the idea that you are as God created you, because it's like, it's very comforting to hear that. Like, okay, that's taken care of then. But it entails so much of, say, letting go of ideas that you hold about yourself, that it's quite a little bit of inner work, you could say, to release everything that you're not, because that's what we're dealing with here. So this is a healing, like a healing catalyst, is a miraculous expression, a miraculous catalyst working in your consciousness and doing exactly what it needs to do, and that's literally allowing a change, like accelerating a change in your experience of yourself. Like, this is the perfect time to let it occur. You don't have to wait for anything, and you don't believe that until you start seeing that, until you come into the practice of it and actually come into an experience where you hear this, I am as God created me, is literally like the portal that dissolves the world in your experience, that dissolves the world, that you come into the depth of your connection with your Creator, where you start to communicate perfectly like that. That is not understandable. Like, it is instantaneous. It is total. There's no like a little bit of your world and a little bit of God. No, this is happening. It's a miraculous occurrence altogether. That is so beautiful, and also that's so total about it. It has nothing to do with how you see yourself, how you think about yourself, how you think about the world, how all these ideas that we have been looking at and have been training our mind in not to be preoccupied with anymore. And now that's progress. So in this new learning phase that we find ourselves, announced by this expression of I am as God created me, it's like, okay, this is stage 2 or 3. There might be one more, but I think this is there's one more. It's like, I am as God created me. That will be coming back to us one more time in the sequence of the lessons. So this we will practice, like, I am as God created me. That's, if I realize that in this instant, and I allow that to affect me as deep as I'm willing to do at this point, that literally dissolves the whole world. That literally changes your complete experience of yourself. Now that's why we practice this. So here, now we enter into prayer. Let's do that. Let's enter into prayer. Our Father, bless our eyes today. We are your messengers, and we would look upon the glorious reflection of your love, which shines in everything. Like, we want to see that. We are your messengers, and we would look upon the glorious reflection of your love, which shines in everything. We live and move in you alone. We are not separate from your eternal life. There's no death, for death is not your will. And we abide where you have placed us, in the life we share with you and with all living things, to be like you and part of you forever. We accept your thoughts as ours, and our will is one with yours eternally. Amen. Our Father, bless our eyes today. We are your messengers, and we would look upon the glorious reflection of your love which shines in everything. We live and move in you alone. We are not separate from your eternal life. There is no death, for death is not your will. and we abide where you have placed us. In the life we share with you and with all living things, to be like you and part of you forever. We accept your thoughts as ours, and our will is one with yours eternally. Amen. So we continue with the next. Brother, this day is sacred to the world. Your vision, given you from far beyond all things within the world, looks back on them in a new light, and what you see becomes the healing and salvation of the world. The valuable and valueless are both perceived and recognized for what they are, and what is worthy of your love receives your love, while nothing to be feared remains. Brother, this day is sacred to the world. Your vision, given you from far beyond all things within the world, looks back on them in a new light, and what you see becomes the healing and salvation of the world. The valuable and the valueless are both perceived and recognized for what they are, and what is worthy of your love receives your love, while nothing to be feared remains. What I like to share about this is like there's a continual like focus on the experience. So this is no longer just talking mind training in that sense. It's not mind training. It's not looking at how you're thinking or what crazy thoughts are coming up or who you don't like and try to forgive or see in a new light. But this is really like going a step further now. We're entering into the phase that we're seriously starting to practice, to come into an experience with this. And we'll see that in the healing circle too a little bit later. It's like there's the holy instant. It's like, did you experience a holy instant already? Are you recognizing that this light is within you, that is your experience, that in fact is the point where you come back to now all the time, that you want to invite into your experience, that you invite into your day, that literally straightens your path, you could say, that helps you, that guides you. But it can only be given in this instant as an experience, and no longer just on the superficial level. But see, it's like you go deeper and deeper into it. It becomes more and more a guiding light because you allow that to happen. So here it is, it falls into place, or you take time to just for a moment look at the situation that you find yourself in and release every thought that you could hold about this situation, being at peace with all of it. Like, okay, however this is looking, my distinction between one solution or the other, or like I'm running out of options here basically, and I allow the one option to come to me. Now in doing that, in releasing your ideas about how things are have to be looking, if you release that idea already, then you start to come into an experience of peace, literally. Like there's suddenly the conflict is gone. That was such a problem a moment ago, literally dissolves because of your new vision. You allow literally to look at things from the light within. And that is certainly a practice, and that is more like you have to remind yourself that that's an option on a day-by-day basis, but on a moment-by-moment basis. Otherwise you pick something up and you literally, it's like you're overwhelmed within no time, recognizing that I cannot do this anymore. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. So you come back to your solution, you could say, by just giving up what you thought is going on. Now here's the thing that we've learned in the mind training, of course, that we're basically always dealing with ideas of image, an image we see. If I say, like, every word that I use, in fact, or every word that you hear, will be translated into an image. If I say the word death, for instance, you'll recognize that you have an image of that. Like, that is really interesting, because you have started to come into a belief about an image, and you really think that that is what that is. And it is not. Like, that does not exist. It was just an image. So this with illness, this is with death, this is with, in fact, even with separation also. Like, there's an idea that if there's no body in the room with you, that you would be alone. And that's an image, like as if you need a body around in order to feel supported. That's just one example, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like literally you as a human being, at least, but in the mind training, you discover that you're continuously looking for the safety of an image. Like, if that wouldn't be there, your life wouldn't be complete. If there's no body in your room, you seem to be lonely. Like, you are so, yeah, you take that literally as a reality for yourself. Now here, this is then the place where we stop and say, like, wait a minute, I'm as God created me. This instant cannot lack anything. Now let's see this in a different way. I don't know how to do that, but I would love to see that. And suddenly there something opens up, or you relax, in fact. You relax your ideas about how it should look and what is given. So that is really what we learn. And by releasing those ideas, you come into an experience of peace. In fact, you relax. You see, like, oh, I only had to let go of this idea. Now I feel so much better. Everything is opening up again. Now I can also be open to have a whole different experience coming to me. And that shows me, yes, there is an alternative, and it looks like this. Like, literally, you start to discover the light that is around you everywhere. In all situations, there's always the opportunity for that. Like, it is present, it is up to you to see it. See, brother, this day is sacred to the world. Not because it is written here, but because it is. Your vision given you from far beyond all things, and things are images, things are forms, are ideas, are imagined. But now it looks back, you look back on them in a new light. I love it. So deny not heaven, it is yours today, it says in 165. Deny not heaven, it is yours today, but for the asking. Nor need you perceive how great the gift, how changed your mind will be before it comes to you. Ask to receive, and it is given you. Conviction lies within it. Till you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains. Yet God is fair. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. See, here's an interesting instruction underneath all of this. So one is, of course, deny not heaven, but then you might still not know what that means. It is yours today. It's like a state where conflict is absence, where you actually come into peace, is given to you. So don't deny that. That is given to you. You only have to ask for it. Let me see peace instead of this, or I want to know what heaven is. I want to experience heaven. Nor need you perceive how great the gift or how changed your mind will be before it comes to you. Like, that is a miraculous occurrence. It doesn't need your understanding. It is taking place when you ask for it. Ask to receive, and it is given you. Conviction lies within it. And literally by doing so, you become convinced that it works, that it is present. Till you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains. Yet God is fair. And this is what we're talking about. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. So it's like this is only about your acceptance of the idea. This is not anything else. Like until you ask for it and receive it as it is given, literally allowing the miracle to happen, you come into that experience not knowing what actually is occurring, and there's no necessity to discover that either. Like you want it to work. That's basically it. Like it's in that sense very practical. It immediately lifts you. It literally shifts you out of a time continuum that you're used to. So it's so different in experience, but it's always available. Now that is what we're practicing in these exercises. Deny not heaven. Like the only thing you have to do is not denying it. Ask for what you want. You don't have to be occupied any longer with all the images and ideas that you hold about the world, or what could make you complete, or who knows what your idea is. Like now all that can go. Let's ask for what is already mine. So literally this only comes by my acceptance, because it is already present. Like it is right here. It is not taken from you. It is not somewhere else. No, it's happening right here. So it's just for the asking. You ask for it and then it can be given. When you experience that, when you do this, when you actually are asking for it with your heart, when you're asking for it, that brings the conviction that it is true, that it works. Like you can't believe it. That is truly a miracle. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. Like God is fair. Yeah, this is really what I wanted to share. Is like it comes by your acceptance of it. That is all. Oh yeah, until you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains, because you actually don't even try to tip your toe in the water. You're not even gonna try it then. So then uncertainty remains. But when you try it and actually see how well that works, you receive the certainty that it actually works. Like absolutely, that will be convincing. 166. Your ancient fear has come upon you now, and justice has caught up with you at last. Christ's hand has touched your shoulder, and you feel that you're not alone. You even think the miserable self you thought was you may not be your identity. Perhaps God's word is truer than your own. Perhaps his gift to you are real. Perhaps he has not wholly been outwitted by your plan to keep his son in deep oblivion and go the way you chose without yourself. So here are some perhapses in 166. Like your ancient fears come upon you now, and justice has caught up with you at last. Christ's hand has touched your shoulder, and it can be that you just like for a moment feel an ancient fear coming up, something that prevents you from temporarily from taking the next step. But you feel that you're not alone, that in this where you find yourself, something is shifting and changing. And now you're considering some things. This is like, well, you even think the miserable self you thought was you may not be your identity. Like, okay, yeah, what actually do I have to lose? Is there anything I have to lose? It's like, what do I have to lose? That's a really interesting question. Like, what do I actually have to lose? I don't like my life. Like, as a human being, you don't like your life. You don't like your relationships. You don't like the way things go, because it doesn't feel natural to live on a timeline with limitation, struggle, pain, illness, sickness, losing the ones you love. Like, that is not a nice place for you to be. Now you're considering that, what do I actually have to lose? And giving this up and letting this go and seeing it for what it truly is. What is so bad about that for me? Now, this is an essential part in your transformation. You start to literally consider some serious doubts about the place that you find yourself. And perhaps the gifts of God are true. Like, perhaps it might be true what's in this book. It might actually be true. It's like, no, it might actually work for me too. Like that. It comes within my reach. Like, why would I not ask for it? Like, well, let's see it as an experiment. Why not ask for it and see what happens? Like, why not do this experiment? Like, you know where you find yourself as a human being. You know what being miserable is. You know what limitation, lack, and pain are. Now, what do you have to lose? God's gifts are true, like they are. God is fair. You get all these confirmations, like it's going to be made very easy for you to make this crossover, really. It's like it becomes easier and easier. You can trust what's going on. God is fair. He doesn't want to take anything away from you. No, he just wants to remind you of the perfect Son that he created. Because he's so happy about that, he wants you to be happy with that too. Of course. So now it's easier. It's like, okay, yeah, my miserable life as I've known it, and all the pain that I've experienced, and all the things I went through, maybe there's an alternative. Maybe that's actually true. Oh yeah, this was the one that is so great too. It's like, God creates only mind awake. So it's like you want to be in communication with your source, like that would be the least you do, right? Now, as a human being, you're not in communication with your source. It's like that's why the prayer that we're looking at times, like why prayer doesn't work either, because literally you define yourself as the total denial of the Son of God. Needing things, wanting things, being miserable, feeling lonely. Like, when are you really starting to pray? Yeah. So here it is, like, God creates only mind awake. Mind awake is communicating. It's right here. It communicates all through the universe, you could say, with every aspect of creation. There's no separation in action. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make conditions which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite to thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thought of God remains forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. So we're talking about the thoughts of God. God creates only mind awake. So this is interesting. So there's some real fundamental ideas being shared, like life is not the opposite of death. Like, no, they don't have anything to do with one another. Death is an image, is an idea, is literally an image, but it is not a reality. Now we're talking about reality. That is not, life is a reality. God is a fact, but death does not exist. Then the same with the perfection of you. It's not like, what is the opposite of guilt? Well, guilt is hell. That's what we saw the other day. Guilt is hell. But guilt is not the opposite of innocence. No, guilt is an image. Guilt is an image that you think you did something wrong, that you think took place, that you think separate you, like you need punishment. In fact, that's an old idea, but like you walk around with that you're guilty of doing something. You have done something and you regret it, or you've done something really stupid and now what? And here it is like, well, that's not an opposite to your innocence. No, your innocence has nothing to do with your considerations about yourself. Like that doesn't even take place. Now here your innocence is the way that you are created. So it's like in recognizing your innocence, you start to communicate as God. You come into your wholeness, into your whole-mindedness. That is what you are. And it has nothing to do with like the superficial things of human life that you have used to give a definition of yourself. So that is basically what I wanted to share. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you in these series of lessons. It's like between 162 and 167. So thank you so much for your attention today, and we continue after some music with the Healing Circle. Thank you for now.